Midnight Story Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to a special episode of Midnight Story Circle. Like and subscribe.
The light followed my car for 27 miles. It stayed directly above me, no matter how fast I drove, no matter which road I turned onto. But that wasn't the part that still keeps me awake. The worst part was discovering that something wearing my face had arrived at my house 3 hours before I did. It happened last November. I was working security at a warehouse outside a small desert town. Most nights I finished around midnight. The drive home took about 40 minutes, mostly along an empty 2-lane highway surrounded by desert. No streetlights, no houses, nothing but black mountains and miles of open land. That night, I left work at 12:36 a.m. I remember the exact time because I texted my wife before pulling out of the parking lot. On my way home. She replied with a heart, then told me to drive carefully. For the first 15 minutes, everything was normal. The radio played quietly. The heater was running. My headlights swept across the faded yellow lines ahead of me. Then I noticed a bright light above the mountains. At first, I thought it was a star. But it was too bright, and it was too low. It hung perfectly still over the desert, a solid white light. No blinking signals, no red or green aircraft lights, no movement at all. I watched it for a few seconds, then forced myself to look back at the road. Probably a helicopter, maybe a tower, something explainable. Then the light moved. It didn't fly across the sky. There was no gradual movement. 1 second, it was above the mountains. The next, it was directly over the highway. I slammed on the brakes. My car stopped in the middle of the road. I stared through the windshield. The light hovered several hundred feet ahead of me. It illuminated the pavement underneath it, but there was nothing visible above the glow. No wings, no helicopter body, no searchlight. Just a white sphere of light, hanging silently over the highway. Then, it went out. The darkness that followed felt unnatural, heavy, complete. Even my headlights seemed weaker. I grabbed my phone. No service, not even an emergency signal. I should have turned around. I know that now. But I was tired, confused, and my house was only 25 minutes away. So I started driving again. I ducked instinctively. My hands jerked the wheel. The car swerved onto the shoulder before I managed to pull it back. I looked through the rearview mirror. There was nothing behind me, no other vehicles, no animal in the road, nothing falling from the sky. Then every warning light on my dashboard turned on at once. The radio shut off, the heater died, the headlights flickered, and the digital clock changed from 12:58 to 1:17 a.m. The radio came back on, but it wasn't playing music, it was static. Buried underneath the static, I could hear someone breathing, slowly, right beside the microphone.
Hello?
The breathing stopped. Then a voice came through the speakers, my voice.
Don't stop the car.
I nearly drove off the road. I reached for the radio and shut it off. The display went black. 3 seconds later, it switched itself back on. Whatever happens, do not look behind you. Every hair on my arms stood up. I kept my eyes on the road. I told myself it was interference, someone using the same radio frequency, a cruel coincidence. Then the rear seatbelt clicked into place behind me. I froze. My eyes stayed locked on the windshield. I could feel the darkness behind my seat. I could feel something occupying the space back there. I wanted to turn around. Every instinct screamed at me to check, but the voice had warned me not to. So I pushed the accelerator down. 50 miles an hour, 60, 70. The light reappeared in my side mirror. It was behind me now, following just above the road. It matched my speed perfectly. I took the next turn without signaling. The light followed. I took another. It followed again. Then the radio whispered one final word. Brake. I slammed both feet onto the brake. My headlights caught a figure standing in the middle of the road, less than 20 feet away. It was tall, far too tall. Its arms hung almost to its knees, and its face was tilted toward the sky. The car stopped inches from it. The figure slowly lowered its head. Its face turned toward me, and my headlights went out. Ah! I screamed. The headlights flashed back on. The road was empty. Nothing stood in front of the car. Nothing was beside my window. The seatbelt behind me was unbuckled again. I didn't wait. I accelerated until the engine sounded like it might tear itself apart. A few miles later, I saw an abandoned gas station ahead. I had driven past it countless times. The windows were boarded up. The old sign leaned toward the highway. A rusted red pickup sat permanently beside one of the pumps. But that night, a man was standing beside the truck. His back was turned toward the road. I passed him at 70 miles an hour. I watched the station disappear in my mirror. 10 minutes later, I saw the same gas station ahead of me, the same broken sign, the same red pickup, the same man, standing with his back turned. I checked the navigation screen. According to the map, I was still moving forward. I hadn't made any turns. I hadn't circled back. Yet I was passing the same place again. This time, as I drove by, the man began turning toward me, slowly, like he had been waiting for my car to return. I looked away before I saw his face. Then the station appeared a third time. But now, the man was standing directly beside the highway, facing my car. Something hit the passenger side. The window cracked. The steering wheel locked in my hands. The engine stopped. But the car didn't slow down. It continued rolling along the highway at exactly 55 miles an hour. No engine, no power, no sound from the tires. The world outside became completely silent. The light moved above the car. Its white glow poured through every window. I tried opening the door. It was locked. I tried lowering the windows. Nothing worked. Then I saw movement between the trees beside the road. Tall shapes, walking alongside the car, keeping pace without running. There were 4 of them, then 6, then more than I could count. The radio turned on again. My own voice filled the car, but this time, it was screaming. The light became so bright that I couldn't see. I remember covering my face. I remember the smell of burning metal. and I remember someone leaning close to my ear, whispering my wife's name. Emily. Then I woke up, sitting behind the wheel in my own driveway. The sky was beginning to brighten. My dashboard clock read 4:42 a.m. Nearly 3.5 hours had disappeared. I stumbled out of the car. My legs barely worked. The entire vehicle was coated in a thin layer of gray dust. There were long marks across the roof, as though something with enormous hands had dragged its fingers through it. The front door opened. My wife stood there. She looked exhausted and terrified. Before I could speak, she said, "Where did you go?" I told her I had just arrived. She shook her head. "No, you came home hours ago." My stomach dropped. She said she heard my car pull into the driveway at 1:17 a.m. She heard the front door open. She heard my footsteps cross the living room and climb the stairs. Then someone stopped outside our bedroom. She called my name. There was no answer. The person stood outside the door for almost 10 minutes. Then it walked back downstairs. The front door opened, and the house became silent. She thought it was me. We had a doorbell camera. My hands were shaking so badly that I could barely open the app. There was a recording from 1:17 a.m. I pressed play. My car entered the driveway. The headlights turned off. The driver's door opened. A man stepped out. He was wearing my work uniform, my jacket, my shoes. From a distance, he looked exactly like me. But when he approached the camera, something was wrong with the way he moved. His arms didn't swing. His steps were too smooth, as though he had only recently learned how human beings were supposed to walk. He stopped inches from the camera. Then he raised his face toward the lens. It was my face, but the eyes were completely black, and the smile stretched wider as the video began to distort. The thing leaned toward the camera. Its mouth moved. There was no audio in the original recording, but I could read its lips. "I got here first." The recording ended. There was one more video, time-stamped 4:42 a.m. It showed my car entering the driveway again, this time with me behind the wheel. We moved out 2 weeks later. I changed jobs, changed my phone number, sold the car. The police never found evidence that anyone had entered the house, and the first recording disappeared from the camera company's servers. They told me it had probably been corrupted. That happened 8 months ago. I haven't seen the light since, but sometimes, at exactly 1:17 in the morning, my radio switches itself on, even when it isn't plugged in. Static fills the room, and underneath it, I hear my own voice, repeating the same 4 words. "Don't look behind you." For months, I listened. I never turned around. But last night, my wife woke me up. She was staring at the bedroom doorway. Her face was completely white. I asked her what was wrong. She pointed toward the chair in the corner, the chair where I leave my work clothes. Someone was sitting in it, wearing my old uniform, smiling at us from the darkness. Then my phone received a notification. Motion detected at the front door. I opened the camera and saw myself standing outside. Whatever followed me home that night wasn't alone. And now, I don't know which one of us is telling you this story.
If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another terrifying tale.